So the WWE has currently released some people. And out of this list, you can understand why some of them were on a chopping block. And then there are a couple that they actually could have made something of. And either they dropped the ball, or their timing was wrong, or it's just the fact that they just didn't have what it took as far as kept on getting injured. Okay? So, alright. Hornswoggle was one of them. Now, look, Hornswoggle hasn't been relevant for a very, very, very long time, and I doubt that he was ever relevant to some, because he was just one of those guys that was just there for comic relief. You couldn't take him seriously by any way, shape, or form, and by the time they tried to, it was just way too fucking late. We weren't going to ever take Hornswoggle seriously. He was just there for comic relief. That's just as simple as that. Same thing with El Torito. Once the Los Matadors thing ended, it was done. It was done for him. And it's funny how the Los Matadors are being repackaged again, Epico and Primo, again, Puerto Rico. Yeah, that's coming back, but El Torito is gone. Cameron, one of the Funkadactyls, as soon as that was done, she was gone. There was nowhere for her to go after that, unless they would have formed her up to be a fucking tough girl. But the thing about it is, she's no Charlotte, she's no Natalya, she's no Becky, she's no Sasha as far as wrestling goes. So there was no way that we were ever going to take her seriously either. That's just the way it is. No, maybe she could have developed a fucking attitude or whatever, but she would have had to develop mad skills in the ring in order for her to be kept or even be relevant. Zeb Colter, damn it. You know, as a manager, we barely have any managers anymore. And Zeb, his shit was killed off once they tried the Mex America thing with Alberto Del Rio when Alberto returned. He was done after that. There was no recovery after that. There was nowhere for him to go. But the funniest part about it is, he's gone now, but Jack Swagger is still there. That's very surprising. I thought that they were going to form back together and be like, we, the people. That shit could have returned. That shit could have actually done something. That shit could have actually gotten somewhere. Even the United States Championship. They could have done something with that, and they chose not to, which is a fucking damn shame. Oh, goodness. Santino Morella. I thought he was already retired, so him being released is not a big deal to me. He was already retired from the WWE and wrestling in general, so that didn't fucking hurt, in my opinion. It's just something that was just, that just happened. Now, on to the three that you could argue that WWE could have really, really done something with these people as far as even having them in the main event status at one time or another. You had Alex Riley. Now, A-Ride. Alex Riley, he was a protege of the fucking Jizz. That's what killed him right there. It did. There was nowhere for him to elevate. There was just nowhere for him to go. He was just totally downgraded by being a sideshow of the Jizz. And that's all people remembered him for. Yes, he had injuries. Yes, he had mishaps. And they tried him on the commentary team at one point or another. But his in-ring skills were okay. His mic skills were okay. And even when he feuded with the Jizz, he beat the fucking Jizz. He was a better wrestler than the Jizz. But, once again, they let him go because they had nothing for him. Wade Barrett. Oh, God. You see, his push was killed by the Jizz becoming WWE champion. I want to make this clear. When the whole Nexus thing was going on and John Cena was fired, we all knew John Cena wasn't going anywhere. Wade Barrett was the #1 contender, and he was fighting for that, and he just couldn't get the title. But then the Jizz cashed in. That torpedoed anything that Wade Barrett had after that as far as the main event scene, because the Nexus moved on, and then they were led by CM Punk, which didn't go anywhere. So at the end of the day, that's what killed his world title scene. That's what happened. Regardless of what anybody else will tell you, it wasn't Cena that killed that. It was the Jizz becoming WWE champion. Because how was Wade Barrett going to get across that? He just wasn't. And this is a guy that's a multi-time Intercontinental Champion. He's actually pretty good in the ring. They repackaged him as Bad News Barrett, which was pretty fucking good. You know, yeah, but I'm afraid I got some bad news. And people liked it. The crowd, at first people were like, oh, what's this shit? And then next thing you know, it gravitated onto the crowd and people were like, all right, yeah, give us some bad news. So him being gone, yes, injuries. All that shit piled up, and I guess WWE is like, yeah, you're too injury prone. We have nothing for you. We can't elevate you like we were supposed to do in the fucking first place. Even when he was in the League of Nations, he rarely did anything that was noticeable anyway. He was just part of the group. And then finally, you have Damien Sandow. Now, it's funny how anybody that has like nose up in the air type of blue-bloodish thing is basically a carbon copy of how Triple H was in the mid-90s. Those guys don't last very long. That's the funny part about this. And as far as I know, Triple H didn't like Damien Sandow. I don't know if that's true or not. But at the end of the day, you had Damien Sandow that showed up. He was actually a good wrestler for what it was worth. You know, he could actually talk on a fucking microphone. But he wasn't taken too seriously. He was missing kind of like the killer instinct. That's just my opinion. But they could have actually done something with Sandow. Now, what really messed things up is when the timing was wrong with him winning Money in the Bank. Now, a lot of people were like, oh, Cena, he killed another one. No. People were saying for fucking years, to combine the fucking belts again. I was one of those people that were like, no, do not combine the titles because that leaves a big gap of who could be world champion. But people didn't want to listen to me. Oh no, we need the belts merged again. And that's what happened. And guess what? They did it at the most fucked up time. They had to take the Money in the Bank shit off of fucking Sandow because they were fucking merging the belts with Cena and Orton. That is what happened here with Sandow and his world title push. But what really hurt him is when they made the man a comic relief act. And he made it work. That was the thing that I didn't quite understand. I was like, it's working. All right. Yeah. Entertain us. And that's what he was doing for a while. Oh, yeah. When he got paired up with the Jizz, that's when shit started to really break apart. Because even as a tag team champion, he couldn't even carry a fucking title. He was still used as comic relief. He wasn't really saying anything at all. And then, again, turning against the Jizz. It's funny how the Jizz is mentioned a lot with these releases. Conspiracy theory, maybe? But when he separated from the Jizz and became Macho Mandow, and you had Axelmania, what killed that was the whole Hulk Hogan Gawker thing. They killed Axelmania, so for some reason they fucking killed Macho Mandow. I have no idea why they did that. And every time you will see Damien Sandow, he was getting all these cheers. He was basically the new Zack Ryder at this point as far as being cheered, but hardly being seen. Everybody was appreciating what Sandow was doing for the fans. It was just so fucked up to see that at least those three, Riley, Barrett, and Sandow, those three being released, that's fucked up. That's a real big surprise to me because those are the three that they actually could have fucking did something with. Mid-card status or even world title status one day. And I just don't, man, I don't understand it. You got these three gone, but the Jizz is still there. Swagger is still there. You got the social outcasts that are still present. I don't understand that. That is just, I don't understand that one bit. Now, people got their wish as far as Hornswoggle and El Torito being gone. But they fucking took something away from you at the same time, just as WWE always does. So, yeah, I would like to get your opinions about this. Do you think that these guys could have made something? Or these men and women that were, working with their dream and then, bam, gone. Do you actually think that some of them were good, or all of them were bad, or all of them were good? Do you think that some could have went somewhere? Do you think that certain releases were unnecessary? Do you think some were necessary? I would like to get your opinions about this. So, yeah, drop kicks, body slams, throw motherfuckers over the top rope, both feet hitting the floor, and unfortunate releases. Yes, I'm a wrestling fan. This is the theme. And I'll see you later. Credits.